All right, so bad customers, I've had a few of them. Let's get into it. Hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. All right guys, so I've had some bad customers over the years, and let's go through a couple of them. I think I got 4 here that are pretty much take the cake so far. And I'll say right off the bat, pretty much all these are avoidable because, you know, it takes, you know, I'm the contractor, they're the customer. So at one point we're all happy, and then at some point something turns. So just keep that in mind. Communication goes a long way. It absolutely helps, but also helps. What also helps is my contract, because it saved my butt a couple times. So get into the first one. Okay, the first one, I'm not going to use names because I do have customers who watch this channel, but not these ones. But this one, it was fantastic. She was a perfect customer right off the bat. Right going up, it was a basement build we did. Finished a basement. And then she decided she wanted, you know, we had an approved contract and approved estimate and everything, but she added a bunch of stuff, a bunch of change orders, turned it a simple half bathroom in a basement to a full bath with additional area, and relocating everything further away from the drain. So she added also a bar, and she originally said she just wanted a small galley style kitchen with the cabinets, a dry kitchen. And then it turned into a full kitchen with a wet bar, range, HVAC, all that kind of stuff. So, and then she added a sauna. So, I mean, we had some change orders in the basement. And it got to a point where we're doing the change orders. I had everything signed, everything was covered on my end, and it looks like they were running out of money, basically, because we were getting into the change orders, getting those finished, but she didn't have enough money to finish the rest of the project, you know, i.e. floors, paint, ceiling, like everything. You know, we're getting into that part of the project, and we're running out of money. So she got really picky about stuff, and really, just her mood changed, her demeanor changed, everything changed about her. And it's basically nitpicking my contract, the estimate line item, going line by line on the estimate, asking why is this so much, why is this blah blah blah. So, and again, I refer to my contract. This is what it, everything's here. This is what I charge. I have no problem telling you how, hey, I charge a profit. I'm here to make money. I'm not here to give you a deal, kind of thing. So I made, this is our project. We'll get to it when we get to it, certain aspects, and she wanted to take away, aspects of the estimate, which again is my approval. I gave her approval to take away flooring and some other stuff as well, because for one, I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to source it, and it was, then it becomes her problem. And it was a problem because she decided to bring another contractor in who delayed the project even further, and then it's just crazy stuff, right? So, and again, not my problem. If it's not, if I release, part of the contract to, the estimate to somebody else that's on her, if she wants to be the GC or her side of it, fantastic. So that made her even more mad. And eventually, I got my side of it done completely, signed off, final payment, everything done. And then she was still fighting with other all her other contractors to get the flooring correct, some other things as well. So it turned out great though, absolutely. At the end of it, it was fantastic. Final approval, final inspection went flawlessly. We're good to go. Everything on my end was fine. Signed off on everything. We're all set. But she was a nightmare, and even to a point where a couple of my subcontractors were like, "I'm not working there anymore," kind of thing. So she was bad. And then as far as ways to avoid it, I could curb even my change orders have prices and everything, and how much it's going to add, and more importantly, how much time it's going to add to the project. Right there, I guess they just didn't, they didn't want to, they weren't adding everything up. So it is what it is. That was one crazy customer. We're not going to do any more work for her, but at the same time, good learning experience. It's what you can smile and laugh about it now, right? So it was a nightmare at the time. Next one. All right, next one is going to be basically this customer. It was a returning customer, did some work for him. Very picky, very annoying. And the first smaller job we did, and I got the job done. Hey, it is what it is. It's more of a, hey, I gave you this amount of money. I want the entire scope done completely, but he doesn't realize that that's not, there's going to be change orders, there's going to be things that you can't see. And again, it's in my contract, all that kind of stuff. And he kind of didn't know, he wants it all like a you go into you pay one price, you get everything, right? So that's not how it works. That's not how my contract works. That's not how any of this. It's not how any of this works, right? So he had he was always there, right over your shoulder, kind of thing. So I absolutely it just bugs me a lot, and I have some clauses in my contract that I added because of him. So I got the job done, did it great. He was happy. We got paid. Everything was fine. And then he wanted me to do another project for him. Or 2 more projects for him, and originally I said no, and then we get along. I think I don't like, it's not like a disdain for him, because I actually kind of get along with him a little bit, but at the same time, it's not your ideal customer. You gotta look at it more of like a business, this is a business. You gotta go, you gotta be able to be profitable, so you can't just answer your phone 15 times a day and then, all that kind of stuff. So, also this kind of person, if you give him a time frame between like 9 and 9:30 or 9 and 10, at 9:01 he's texting you. That's, hey, where are you at? Are you gonna be here in the time frame? And that kind of annoys me too. So it is what it is. I spoke to him about it. There's no problem. There was no problems with it. Hey, this is what's going to happen. I just get, just flat out, just bleh, this is what's going to happen, and take it or leave it. Basically, we have a signed contract. So, anyways, got that project done, and then I actually said, even though my wife said don't do this project, and I even, he wanted me to bid another project or 2 more or 3, or I forget how many projects. So I bid 1 for him. And then I added, obviously, it's called the pain in the ass factor. So here's my price, and then I'm gonna add money because I know that this customer is gonna be a pain in the butt. So I added a price, and then he approved it, did the work. Same thing, I was expecting it. Same, just, hey, I paid a price. What, this is not included because certain things were not, it was a bathroom in a basement. Kitchen, all that kind of stuff. So it was basically, like additional stuff that he was buying all the materials, so the materials were wrong, not designed correctly, stuff like that. So I was pushing out this project, and he basically, he came to me, he's like, hey, this project's taking way too long, blah blah blah. Hey, material delays. If your counters take 3 months to get scheduled, that's not my problem, kind of thing. So. And then, you take some customers forget, since you're always there, or if you're there, you're the one who's getting the brunt of the complaints and stuff. So you got to remind them, hey, this is where we stand. Yes, this is my problem. This is going to be your problem. So most people don't like being told that certain things are their problem, but even when they are. So you got to be front, up direct, and a lot of people are like, hey, you're right, no problem. This is a problem, and then eventually he was coming around, he's like, yeah, this is, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this, we're waiting on this kind of thing. So at the end of it, he was like, hey, if we didn't have a contract, we probably would be, we'd be done by now. We would part ways and stuff. And then I was straight up. I was like, hey, we can be done. I'll cancel the contract. Yeah, you owe me a little bit of money, but I'll waive it just to be done with it. You can hire your own contractor, hire your own subs and all that kind of stuff, and get the rest of the project done. And I can move on to bigger and better things. Phone went, it was over a phone call. So, phone went dead for a minute. He's like, hey, I'll call you back. I'm like, all right, no problem. And then obviously, lo and behold, calls back. It was like probably an hour or whatever it was later, and no, he doesn't want to cancel the contract. He wants to keep with me, because obvious reasons. I mean, the money and the money is nothing as far as getting the project done, kind of thing. So, plus I'm a likable person, and I don't think he was expecting me to say, hey, we can cancel the contract and let him out of the contract and go our own ways, because I think that was, it was more of a bluffing tactic, or like something he was trying to air his grievance. And I wasn't having it. So anyways, that was probably my second worst customer, still current, whatever it was, but we're not going to be doing any more business with them just because I don't have the time. I'm already 38, so I don't want to, I don't have time. I really don't. All right, next one. This would be the customer that this is the only one I actually fired. So a little bit my fault as well, because I could have been more diligent in permits and more communication, but at the same time, we had a certain time frame. The township's dragging their feet with permits. I was like, hey, we can kind of come in, we can do non-permitted stuff like demo, we can start digging holes, stuff like that, waiting for the permit. No big deal. I already obviously paid for it and everything like that. So we're there digging, and then she, I think she like literally, like when we were digging the post holes for her small addition slash, it wasn't an addition, it was an entryway with a covered entryway basically. So in a small deck basically, like honestly like 8 by 8, something so small, and and she's like, Richard, you had no intention of actually doing this project. I'm like, and I was like literally like 4 feet, digging 4 feet, 42 inches, whatever, it's actually, we're digging 48 inches down. We're on site, dump trailers there, got everything taken care of, employees are there, we're actually working. And then she's like, no intention of starting the project. I forget what she actually said, no intention of starting the project or doing something like that. I was like, well, time out. Like there's a big red flag. What's going on? And then she's like, the permit's not even here yet, blah, blah, blah. And I have it like, the actual receipt that the permit's in process, working on it. I'd already told her, it's communication wise, I already told her that it was, en route. I can't make them work faster. It's a township. So, but we'll start it, we'll get as far as we can without a permit kind of thing until our first inspection basically. So, which is, footings inspection. So we don't have far to do, right? So, so that's, time out. Hey, this is, what, and she was just like, no, this is, you're trying to, rip me off, blah, 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 whatever. I was like, okay, time out, like we're going to pull off this job site. I covered everything, marked everything, what we did, documented everything. I was like, no, we're done. Like, this, I don't deal with this kind of, I don't tolerate this. This is ridiculous. I'm literally on site doing something for you, and you're saying that I had no intention of actually doing it. So, and then she texted me, I forget something, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to cancel your contract. You're being hostile. Hey, she already gave me, I think like it was like $7,000 to $8,000 or something as a deposit, like I require per our contract, all that kind of stuff. So, canceled it. I refunded her deposit less my expenses. Told her that's what's going on. She actually submitted a claim against me under the Department of Licensing in the state of Michigan. I got a big packet of all this stuff. So I basically just sent them back. Hey, this is what's going on. Here's the check for refund for the deposit. And this is why I deposit the refund for the deposit is this amount. Took away per our contract. I can keep certain aspects of cost of doing business. And that's it. That was it. Nothing's on. I checked. Nothing happened. That was it. She cashed the check, obviously, because she wants her money, and went on her merry way. So obviously, red flag. I mean, if I look back on it, like it was always like, even when she contacted me to do the work, it was always like, like I was forcing her to do the work, or something. Like she always had an attitude, which like a Karen attitude, if that makes any sense. So going back on it, there was small red flags, but I mean. It's when you're before you actually project starts, you're talking about everything what you want to do. It's like the Goldilocks time of the project. So, but at the same time, she never really smiled too much, and she's like, it just kind of a miserable person, I want to say. So, there was some red flags for sure, but I missed them, and then that one was that was a big red flag. So, that's the only customer I actually fired and canceled and refunded the deposit and all that kind of stuff. So. Last but not least, I'm sure there'll be a few others, unfortunately, but this one, my wife's like, you probably shouldn't do work for. Like I was like, it's money. It is what it is. So this one is a pretty large project. It's technically still going on, but we're pretty much on the very tail end of it, and just OCD customer. I didn't really see it at the first, but at the same time, I couldn't. When we're going over the contract, they're asking for certain things. Which it was a red flag, like they want to be bonded, which in residential, there's no bonding in this state. You can buy a bond from like the township if they offer it, which the township she was in does not offer it. So, and then that was like a week or week and a half thing where her or whatever were like, hey, we need a bond. And I was like, here, you can go buy a bond. Like, there you go. It's, like I'm even my insurance, and everybody's like, no, we're not gonna bond you for a residential. It's not required. Commercial, yes, but not residential. So, and OCD, picky, complains about pretty much everything. At a certain point it was fine, but it was getting to a point where it was like, listen here, Mr., Mrs. Customer, whoever, it's going to be like this. You can have a change order if you want to, but we're going to go along with this, and you're not paying, there's a certain aspect of quality work you're paying for, and there's a certain aspect of quality work you're not paying for. So, If you want to, we can do a change order. You can pay for like a level 5 drywall finish and all this, if you want it crazy, but it's a residential, your house is built in like the 40s, so your ceiling's not level. Like we can make it work. We know if time and budget, I can make anything possible, right? So we can level everything, but it's gonna cost you kind of thing. So of course, no, but at the same time, OCD about everything. Hey, there's a piece of drywall in the far corner of the left side. I'll send you a picture of it, texting me all the time. So it's like, nope. And this was before I got my regular business phone. So she obviously got my personal number, text all the weekends and stuff. So we had to have a sit down. Hey, Monday through Friday, this is what's going to happen. Unless it's an absolute emergency, I don't want to hear from you Saturday, Sunday. I'm not even going to respond to you, kind of thing. So unless I'm in like a better mood, but not even going to respond to you. That's where we're going to keep it contractor, homeowner, contractor, customer relations. Just this, I know we're buddy kind of thing, but at the same time, I need a break. That's I need Saturday and Sunday not to be thinking about my Monday through Friday grind, my Monday through Thursday grind, customers and all that kind of stuff. So again, like everything, it starts and ends with communication, but never again, you pre-qual, that's going to be red flags. I ignored them. My wife told me they're asking for 5-year warranties on stuff like that, which again, hey, no problem. I'll give you a 5-year warranty. Here's the cost increase for it. So there's always a cost for it. So yeah, those are my worst customers. Learn from my mistakes. Pre-screen. Make sure you weed out these kind of customers. If they're like my contract, honestly, my contract saved me multiple times. Again, you guys can email me. I sell it. I can send it over to you. It's based in Michigan, so I'm not sure what you're going to need to modify it for your state. You might need to modify it a lot. You might not need to modify it at all. But I do sell it. It's 8 to 9 pages long. It's been saving me so much heartache, really so much heartache. And I keep adding to it because there's certain things I need to document and make sure that it's not requested of me again, or I don't have to deal with it ever again, kind of thing. So like and subscribe, you guys. I appreciate it. That's my worst customer so far. A couple of years in business, well, more than a couple of years in business, but red flags galore. Don't ignore them, because it'll save you so much heartache at the end. Thanks.